The first time I saw her, she was lying unconscious in a clearing on the outskirts of the derelict city. Smoke curled from the remnants of crumbled skyscrapers, and the red-tinted light of the dying sun cut through the haze, casting long shadows over the ruins. I had been scavenging for medical supplies when I heard the faint, uneven breathing. It was human, or at least human-like, but something about it felt off. She was barely conscious when I reached her, her body trembling in what I assumed was shock. Her uniform, if you could call it that, shimmered with a strange metallic weave that seemed to absorb light instead of reflecting it. I had never seen fabric like that before, not even in the high-tech markets of New Sydney. The identification patch had been scorched away, leaving only a blank strip where her name and rank should have been. I checked her vitals. Elevated heart rate, shallow breathing, minor lacerations across her arms and shoulders. Nothing I couldn't handle with the medkit I carried. As I worked, her eyelids fluttered, and her gaze met mine. "Who are you?" she whispered, her voice soft but laced with an authority that immediately made me wary. "I'm just someone trying to help," I said. I hadn't expected anyone to survive in these ruins. Most people in this sector were either long gone or had joined the roaming gangs that preyed on the weak. She coughed, a dry, rasping sound, and I noticed a faint glow beneath her skin, a network of lines that pulsed faintly like circuitry. My eyes widened. This wasn't just a human. Something in her biology had been modified, augmented, or replaced. "Stay still," I murmured, carefully applying a healing gel over the burns along her arms. The gel was standard human medtech, designed for rapid tissue regeneration, but as I touched her skin, I felt a vibration, an almost imperceptible hum, as if her veins themselves carried electricity. When she finally opened her eyes fully, she seemed almost human. Her pale, sharp features and silver hair could have belonged to any citizen of the inner colonies. But the glow beneath her skin refused to lie. "Thank you," she said softly. "I need a safe place to recover." I hesitated. Trusting strangers in the wastelands was usually a mistake, but something about her compelled me to act. Maybe it was the faint desperation in her eyes, or maybe it was the realization that whatever she was dangerous, powerful, but not necessarily hostile. "Follow me," I said. "I have a safe spot nearby." The place I led her to was an abandoned observatory perched atop a crumbling cliff. From there, we could see the ruins stretch for miles, the jagged edges of metal and stone like the skeleton of a dead city. It wasn't much, but it had walls intact, a functioning solar array, and a water purifier I had rigged from scavenged tech. It was enough for us to survive for a while. As I helped her settle on a makeshift cot, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being studied. Every time I turned, I caught her eyes lingering on me, calculating, observing, as if trying to read my thoughts. "I don't remember how I got here," she admitted after a long silence, her voice trembling slightly. "I was attacked, I think. They said I was to be decommissioned." "Decommissioned?" I asked. That word wasn't human terminology. It sounded more like something a machine, or someone controlling machines, would say. She hesitated, then said, "I shouldn't talk. It's dangerous." I didn't press. Instead, I continued to tend to her injuries, cleaning cuts, applying the gel, and dressing the wounds. Each touch was like a spark. Her skin reacted to my touch in ways that no humans should. I could feel the faint energy beneath the surface, like she was powered by something I couldn't understand. The next days passed in a tense rhythm. I hunted for food, scavenged supplies, and treated her injuries. She mostly slept, though she occasionally woke to fix the observatory's broken systems with uncanny precision. One evening, as the sky bled into shades of violet and black, she approached me. "You're curious about me," she said. Her voice had a strange musical quality now, almost resonant. You want to know who I am? I looked at her, tired but unable to lie. I can't help it. Something about you isn't right. You're not just human. She nodded slowly, as if confirming a suspicion she had already suspected I'd have. I am not fully human. I was created, engineered for a purpose. But what I am is more dangerous than you can imagine. I felt a chill run down my spine. Dangerous to me? She shook her head. No, not to you. To them. And to anyone who tries to control me. I wanted to ask more, but before I could, the observatory sensors, old, jury-rigged devices, picked up movement. From the edge of the cliff, a squad descended. Humanoid shapes, armored, weapons raised. They found me, she whispered. I barely had time to react. She leapt from the cot within human speed, her body moving fluidly, almost like she was anticipating the attacker's every move. I grabbed a blaster from my stash and fired blindly at the first figure entering the observatory, but she was already ahead of me. The battle was chaotic. She moved with precision, each strike calculated, each dodge perfectly timed. I realized with a mixture of awe and fear that she wasn't just enhanced, she was designed for combat. The energy coursing beneath her skin flared as she unleashed pulses that sent armored soldiers flying. One by one, they fell, incapacitated but not killed. She spared them, her expression unreadable. After the dust settled, I finally got a clear look at her. Her silver hair glowed faintly under the moonlight, and the lines beneath her skin had brightened, pulsing rhythmically. She looked almost ethereal, a being caught between human and something far more. Why didn't you kill them? I asked, panting from the adrenaline. Because killing is unnecessary, she replied, her voice calm. I am not a weapon. I am a guardian. I was supposed to be retrieved, but I escaped. I was never meant to survive alone. I stared at her. My mind struggled to process the revelation. She was not the person or the being I thought I was helping. She was something entirely other, yet she had chosen to trust me. Over the following week, we rebuilt the observatory's defenses. She taught me how to reinforce the walls with energy shields, how to create traps that could immobilize even the most advanced robots, and how to read the energy signatures of intruders before they arrived. I learned more in those days than in years of surviving alone in the wastelands. And yet, despite her guidance, she never fully revealed her true identity. I only knew fragments, a name that sounded like a song, an origin on a distant orbital station where humans and AI hybrids coexisted, and a mission that had been abruptly aborted. One night, as we watched the stars through the shattered dome, I finally asked the question I had been avoiding. Who are you really? She hesitated, then whispered, I am the last of the Seraphim protocol, engineered to protect, enhanced to survive, and modified to adapt. I was sent here to monitor human expansion and protect certain assets. But I was betrayed. My creators tried to terminate me. That's why I'm here with you. I swallowed hard. So all this, it's been a lie. Your whole identity. Yes, she said softly. To survive, I had to appear vulnerable, human, fragile. But I am neither fragile nor entirely human. That is the truth you see now. I wanted to believe that this didn't change anything between us. And in some ways, it didn't. I had grown attached to her, not to the machine, not to the weapon, but to the person she chose to be when she was with me. Our quiet time didn't last. A week later, transmissions from the remnants of the Orbital Authority reached her. They were scanning the planet, searching for the escaped prototype. They knew she had survived. They would send hunters. We have to leave, she said, urgency in her voice. I nodded, already packing supplies. Where do we go? There's a station beyond the edge of the system. It's abandoned, but I can shield us there. They won't find us, not easily. The journey was perilous. We navigated through asteroid fields, dodged remnants of derelict war drones, and faced violent electromagnetic storms. And all the while, I watched her, marveling at the strength and precision that belied her human form. Every movement was calculated, every decision exact, yet there was still a humanity in her eyes that I couldn't ignore. By the time we reached the station, a skeletal ring floating in silent orbit, I understood the full truth. She was not who she had seemed, not the injured, fragile girl I rescued, not even a human hybrid. She was something new, something more. And yet, she had chosen to trust me, to let me see her vulnerability, even for a moment. We settled in the station, reinforcing its systems and creating a small sanctuary. She taught me her protocols, her abilities, and slowly, we began to understand each other in ways words could not capture. One evening, as the artificial sun of the station bathed us in pale light, she turned to me. "You saved me when I could not save myself," she said. "And in return, I will protect you. Not as a weapon, not as a machine, but as something I choose to be. Because of you." I felt a warmth I hadn't known in years. "Then we protect each other," I said. She nodded, and for the first time since I met her, I saw her smile, tentative, human, and yet somehow more than human. And in that moment, I realized that while I had healed her wounds, she had healed something in me as well. She was not who she seemed, but the truth was far better than any illusion I had imagined. Outside, the stars glimmered with the promise of countless unknown dangers. And yet, I knew that together, we could face anything, because some truths are not what they appear. And some bonds, once forged in the chaos of survival, are stronger than anything, even than the secrets that hide beneath the surface.